Hello, Barbies, Kens, Theys, and Thems. Welcome to a little show I call Nicole Reacts, where I, Nicole, react to online marketing gurus that I find, that other people help me find, and occasionally even who find me on the internet, as is the case today. My qualifications for marketing snark and commentary are that I've owned a marketing company for 16 years. In that time, I've worked with hundreds of clients on marketing strategy and implementation. This means I also know about related topics like search engine optimization and website development. So today's person comes to us via contact form spam. That's right. I just cannot bring myself to up the filtering on my contact form because how would I find these people? This guy's name is Cardinal Madison. I don't think he's in the Catholic Church as a cardinal. I think this is just a stage name. Now, if you think that I'm picking on a young person, I will assure you that this guy has over 50,000 YouTube subscribers, so he definitely has a platform. So today we're going to watch the video that he, or I guess more accurately, the company he paid to spam my and probably thousands of other people's contact forms. So this is the video that was linked in that message. This is the actual thumbnail. How to make five to $10,000 a month with email copywriting. I appreciate that there's actually an income claim both in the title of the video as well as the thumbnail. That's always nice. I will admit that I'm a little bit skeptical based on the thumbnail and income claims, but let's give it a shot.
Copywriting is cool, but you know what's even cooler? Email copywriting, where brands will pay you thousands of dollars a month to write emails that take you like
They won't.
15 to 20 minutes to write.
Why would they pay you thousands of dollars a month to do something that takes 15 minutes, right? Like just critically thinking here, okay? I mean, I know that there's some easy jobs out there, but I don't think most jobs are this
The
easy.
easiest part is we have total beginners making 5 to 10K a month using the strategy I'm going to show you in this video right now. But before we get into that, let's talk about it. Email marketing, email copywriting, kind of the same thing. The way email marketing works is businesses get email addresses from their customers either before or after they buy something. If they get the email address before,
I mean, I guess if I think about any transaction in my life, there was a period in my life before I made it, and then there's a period of life after I make it. So I guess if you're getting their email, you're getting it at some point, but okay.
Your job as a copywriter is to make them buy the thing, to make them stop waiting, to make them just pull the trigger on that first purchase. If the customer has already purchased, your job is to make them buy again and again and again, either the same thing or different things, or more expensive things, or less expensive things. That's
Okay. As a complete aside, I'm just going to make this big so that you see what I'm talking about. There's a weird shadow thing on the bottom right corner. I don't know if someone is holding like some kind of lighting above him or if someone's holding a microphone above him or something like that.
your job as an email copywriter, sending emails to their entire contact base. You'd think that companies would do this themselves, right? But they don't. Most companies have a general marketing person who kind of does everything, and then they hire contractors or freelancers to kind of help them out with little mini things, right? So like they'll hire someone to do a part of the Facebook ads thing, or a part of the blog writing thing, or a part of email marketing.
So this is actually pretty normal. A lot of companies will have maybe a one, a two, or a three-person marketing team, even if they're a big company. I did some work for a company that had over 20 million in revenue and they had one marketing person. Now, if you think about it, this marketing person is kind of in charge of a lot. They're not only in charge of the online stuff, but they're also in charge of the offline stuff. So if someone is going to a trade show and you need to get stuff made for that booth, the marketing person is making that. Oh, guess what? We're going to that trade show. The brochure is out of date. Who's designing the brochure? The marketing person. Oh, you know what else we need? We also need some business cards for that new hire we just had. The marketing person's doing that. So they're doing all of the sort of print, traditional media stuff like press releases, media buying, that kind of thing. And they're also doing the online stuff. Now, the thing with online anything related to marketing. So whether it's running Facebook ads or whether it's setting up Google Analytics reporting or whether it's, managing a website. These are all kind of hard skills that take time to learn. But in addition to the initial time you spend learning them, you were also spending time relearning them as the platforms change. So even if you were great at Facebook ads 4 years ago, that doesn't mean you're going to be great at them now. You have to keep up with, okay, what kind of ads are they offering now? How is the targeting different? That kind of thing. So it's really hard to find one person who is good at all of these things. And listen, I'm a generalist and I've been doing this like for 20 years. I've had my own company for 16, but I've been, blogging, website, blah, blah, blah for 20 years. There's still some things that I don't know how to do that I have to hire out when I need help with them. So the fact that companies will hire out, in particular, if they're, I don't know, going to be running ads for a specific campaign or doing something else that's short term, it makes sense that they'll hire out contractors or subcontractors to do that kind of work since it is something highly specified and not something they're going to continuously need. So, anyway, let's get back to it. I love his sweatshirt says Golden Goose, run for your life. I mean, geese are pretty savage, but I kind of wish I knew what the rest of the shirt said.
So you can come in as a copywriter and basically just do all the email copywriting stuff. And the work is actually really easy. I'll show you why. One of my favorite clients that I had for email copywriting was this guy named Terry, and he sold real estate wholesaling information products.
Okay, I went back just to point out that Terry, right? The word Terry is written in white, and the background of Terry is also white. And there's a bit of stroke around the letters, but you can barely read them. If you would put this on a website, this would definitely be a usability.
Products. I didn't know a thing about real estate at the time or even now, like to be honest. But he paid me a couple $1,000s a month to write emails to his list who wanted to buy stuff from him in the future.
Listen, I'm not saying that you won't be able to find a Terry in your future. I'm saying he's acting like there's a lot of people around who are like, oh, wow, you don't really know very much about my topic, but let me pay you thousands of dollars to do it anyway.
When I came on, this guy, Terry, wasn't sending any emails to his list. So anything I did would have been an improvement. And mostly what I did was I would write stories about how.
Oh my God, that shadow is bugging me so much. I'm going to make myself small just so we can watch the shadow for a while. Actually, yeah, that's what they're. So I'm going to make myself small so that this can bother you too.
This business model changed his life and how it can change theirs too. You probably get emails like this in your inbox right now from people or brands where it's a story about how something happened and how it's a lesson as to why you should buy the product that they have. That's basically all an email copywriter does. You're going to write emails that are valuable to the customers, and every so often you're going to write emails that are going to hard sell to the customers.
All right, thanks for humoring me on the shadow front, but here's what I don't understand. He just said like 30 seconds ago that he doesn't know anything about real estate, even after writing these emails, right? So, how can he know that these emails are valuable to the people receiving them if he doesn't know anything about the topic? It's like an honest question. And listen, I'm not saying that I'm a real estate expert, I'm not. But if you asked me questions about what I wrote for different real estate email newsletters that I've drafted, I would be able to explain it to you because I had to write it.
If I ever didn't know what to write about, I would do some basic research on his niche. And then I'd ask him in a voice note, I'd be like, hey, Terry, what do the taxes look like for a real estate wholesaler? And he would send me a voice note back that's like 2 minutes long that would give me all the information I need to write into an email. And then I would send it out and it would be good to go. This may sound complicated, but this is probably one of the easiest.
Yeah, it really doesn't sound complicated. Basically, when I do content with anybody, whether it's for an email or a website or social media, the idea is asking good questions and drawing information out of them. So, I mean, you could have the person send a voice memo. You could also spend time with them and ask them questions and have it be more of a conversation. I feel like sometimes you find the most interesting information that way, but
Things you can do in your life. I think it took me about a month to get used to doing the actual work, but after that, I got quicker, I got better, and it just became second nature. When you start email copywriting or marketing, you're gonna feel way in over your head. You're gonna think that you don't have the skills, you're way too slow, and you have no idea what you're talking about. But
okay, but at the beginning, you also said I didn't need any experience. So if I just started doing something for work for the first time and I'm overwhelmed because I've never done it before, wouldn't that be really normal?
I'm telling you, that changes so quickly. When I first started writing emails, for me to write a 500-word email, it would take me like an hour. And now I know I can do it in like 15, 20 minutes. So when you start getting fast, that's when it starts to get fun. Because here's how the math works out. Let's say you have a client for $2,000.
I'm surprised he hasn't talked about ChatGPT writing the email for us yet, but maybe he's getting there.
Dollars a month, right? They want you to do 3 emails a week. You know that you can write an email in about 20 minutes. That's 1 hour of work per week to make $2,000 a month. So in theory,
I mean, let's say that you had a client who paid you $1 million a month to write 9 emails. Listen, I can make up numbers too. What I want to know is how many people are paying you $2,000 a month to write 3 emails a week on a consistent basis. Okay. I guess that I don't know people who are willing to do this. And if I could find a client who is willing to pay me an obscene amount of money for that little work, I don't think they'd stick around very long because they'd probably have me write the emails. They'd be like, okay, I see how she's doing it. And then they'd probably have someone in house or someone less expensive to keep doing the thing. I'm just saying, I don't know who these people are, and I don't know how you are selling them into a $2,000 a month retainer with no experience in the field. Okay.
theory, you could technically make 80 grand a month if you wanted to work 40 hours a week. Not usually how it ends up working out, but if you think about it,
God, I hate it when people do this kind of math. Here's the thing. If you take a basic business class, right, whether it's through your local college or through maybe a community development organization that has a boot camp or something like that, if you talk about service-based businesses, one of the things they're going to talk about is the concept of the billable hour. A billable hour is an hour or some fraction of an hour of work that I can bill to a specific client. So, for example, today, Howard had a problem with his website. I fixed the problem in 15 minutes. So I billed Howard for 15 minutes of my time, which is $50 at our regular rate. Regular clients get cheaper hourly rates than that. So if we look across the 4 of us in the company, I have a goal of at least 5 billable hours a day between the 4 of us. And what that means is that a certain amount is going to come in, and I know it's going to cover payroll and the healthcare stipends, and we're going to be good. And as you think about 4 people, each doing 1.25 billable hours a day, you're like, huh, like it seems like you would do more work than that. But here's the thing, I have to do a lot of other tasks that are not billable to run the business. So, for example, I have to meet with potential clients. I don't charge for that because we're talking about how we're going to work together. I have to work up quotes. I have to work up contracts. I have to send invoices. I have to check my email and my return my phone messages. There's a lot of things that I do that I need to do for the business to run, but I can't bill a specific client for. So it's not billable. Therefore, I have to make enough revenue to cover that time. So when this guy acts like you can work for 40 hours a week and bill for 40 hours, that's not quite accurate because most of us have other tasks we need to do to run our business that is not something we can bill someone for directly. It's a cost of doing business. So, yeah, I'm not really sure how much business credentials this guy has, but just the fact that he acted like, oh, you could make $80,000 a month. Yeah, you could if you could bill out for every single hour. But I think, as I've established, you can't really do that because most of us have tasks, even if we do service based work for other people, that are not billable. Anyway, descending off my soapbox.
1 hour of work per week per client at 2 grand a month, you could scale that. And between you and me, the $2,000 a month number is really just for beginners to start charging because they're afraid to charge higher than that.
Here's a little secret, most businesses don't want to give someone with no experience $2,000 a month to do a sliver of their marketing. They don't. Trust me.
of my students that are actually doing this thing can charge 3 to 5K a month for jobs like this because they know that they're going to make the money back for the client. If you want to see exactly how my students are charging 3 to 5K a month to do the exact same thing that you're doing for 2K, click the description. I might have something for you. You're probably thinking right now, if email copywriting is so great, why isn't it saturated? This is why. Because first of all, no one does anything. This video is gonna get a bunch of views and maybe 10 people are gonna actually do it because no one else really wants to do the work that much. So just by virtue of you actually doing the work, you have
So you're telling me that people who watch this video, and it is guaranteed in your mind that with a few hours of work a week, they could make $1,000. You don't think most people would do that. You don't think most people would pick up a book or learn a skill to make that kind of money. Come on.
an advantage on the competition, like literally right now. The second reason it's not saturated is because of something I call the theory of relative infinity. The way I just said that makes me sound super smart, but don't get mistaken, all right? That just
I'm not, don't worry.
Is there an infinite amount of people to hire you to do email copywriting? No. But will you ever reach the end? No. So the number's not infinite, but it may as well be to you because you will never, ever reach the end of everybody who needs email copywriting. The likelihood of everyone else before you signing clients, and then by the time you learn about it, there are 0 businesses left to hire you is just 0. Okay. It's not going to happen. Chances are none.
That's right. There's at least one client for you out there.
There are millions and millions and millions of businesses that exist right now, and thousands more get started every single day. We're never going to run out of leads.
How many new businesses do you know have $2,000 a month just to spend on email marketing? How much does your business spend on email marketing, whether it's your personal business or a business that you work for? I bet it's less than $2,000 a month.
No one's ever going to not need email marketing. We're good. What I will say though, is there are more email copywriters that exist now than when I started. So you have to stand out. There's really only 2 things that I want to tell you about standing out as an email copywriter.
One way to stand out is to buy this course, which thousands of other people have already done. That's a good way to stand
Number
out.
1 is you stand out by lasting longer. So volume is your best friend. I've talked in some other videos about how if you send thousands of DMs and emails, you will never be poor. And I firmly believe in that. It doesn't matter what niche you
Is that why you spam my contact form?
reach out to. It doesn't matter if you have 100 followers on Instagram or 100,000 followers on Instagram. You can just send a bunch of DMs and you will get a client. And once you get that first client, you'll get the next one even easier.
God, this is so toxic and not even true. I hate this for 2 reasons, and we'll talk about them individually. Number 1, doing this with your time prevents you from doing things that are actually productive to move your business forward. And number 2, it's not even guaranteed to work, even if you do spend the time. So first of all, number 1, these gurus will give you tasks like this where you're outworking or outperforming other people, right? You're hustling harder, you're doing more. Okay, so let's say that you open up Instagram and you go to Gary Vee's profile and you go to his followers and you say, you know what? All these people care about marketing. I'm going to DM all of these people. Let's say that you have a little script that's ready to copy and paste, and all you're doing is clicking on their name, clicking on message, pasting your thing in, and pressing send. Okay. And so let's say you can get through 4 of these people a minute. So you're doing this in about 15 seconds. Okay. So you are DMing 4,000 people in 1,000 minutes. Okay. 1,000 minutes is like 16 and a half hours. So you have spent 16 and a half hours messaging strangers who have absolutely no idea who you are, what you can do, and have not even expressed interest in what you're doing. Right. So you could have instead arranged meetings with people that you want to work with in your real life and say, hey, listen, I want to work with people like you. Can I sit down for coffee with you and ask you some questions about what you need with your marketing? You could have said, you know what? I am going to spend a little bit of money running an ad to this forum of people who might want a free marketing consult. You could spend your time saying, hey, local chamber of commerce, hey, local SBDC, hey, insert business group here. I want to do a workshop about marketing stuff. Do you want to host a workshop? And you can put your name on it. I'm the guest speaker, but part of what I get is I get the list of all of the names of the people who attended. And those are potential leads. And not only that, they're going to sit in a room with me for 2 hours and see how delightful I am. So the 3 things I just told you, like meeting with maybe 5 or 6 people you want to work with, um, taking out an ad and running that for, I don't know, a week or something, and working with your local SBDC and running a 2-hour class, probably you could fit all that in 16 hours of your work time. But instead of doing that, you slid into the DMs of all the people who follow Gary Vee. And number two, just because you DM'd 4,000 people does not mean you will get a client. Ask anyone who has ever online dated if having more choice means that they found their soulmate. More choice does not mean better choice. Going on thousands of dates does not mean you're going to meet your soulmate. DMing thousands of people does not mean you're going to find a client by the same exact logic. Listen, if you want to listen to these people spout their bullshit on the internet because they made a lot of money off of conning people, go ahead. I'm just going to say, don't spend a lot of money on their courses or memberships or whatever bullshit they're selling you. And don't spend enormous amounts of time doing something that has absolutely no clear return. So he can easily say, oh, yeah, you can message a bunch of people, you'll get a client eventually. And all you're going to do when you don't get a client after messaging 4,000 people is you're going to say, oh, I just have to message more. It's very MLM in that the blame of it not working falls on you when it's really the task itself that isn't going to get you any customers. And listen, I'm not saying it won't get you any. I'm just saying the amount of time spent versus your return, I don't think for most people is going to be worthwhile.
Then once you have a couple, you can ask your clients to send you more clients. There's abundance, baby. We're good. The second thing you should know is that your personality has a lot to do with this. You may be sitting here thinking that like no one wants to hire you because you don't have any experience. And I'll tell you, as someone who hires a lot of people from my companies, I hire mostly based on culture. Talent can be trained, but if you're boring and not likable, then I don't want to work with you no matter how good you are. So
He wants us all to be personality hires.
even if you have no experience and you think it's saturated, you will get by on your personality. That's just the way it is. You will find companies that want to hire you because they like you. Okay. That doesn't mean you have to like suck up to them or whatever. It just means you be you and reach out to companies that you like and they'll hire you because they like you. And
Listen, I'm not saying I haven't been hired because I'm likable, but the only reason I stick around is because I'm competent. So you might be able to get hired off of your charming smile or amazing good looks or lovely demeanor, but that they're not going to keep you around if you're not competent and you're not showing
I don't
results.
want you sitting there thinking that you're not likable and that no one wants to work with you because I like you and I haven't even met you. So imagine how much I would like you if I did meet you, right?
I don't like this guy. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry to say it, but the feeling is not mutual,
As
Cardinal.
long as you are a positive person and you reach out to as many people as your phone will allow you to, then you will make money as a copywriter and everything will be totally fine for you. Okay.
No, it won't.
Okay. So if you're a
God.
self-motivated go-getter, independent, ready to go do it yourself, and you want to get your first client, check out this video right here. But if you want your hand held,
There's no video.
which who doesn't? And you want someone to sit there and make sure that you're going to make 5K a month as fast as possible. I have something for you. I'm always looking for a couple of people to be a
Oh, he's looking for a couple people to mentor or to be in his
mentor
mastermind.
to. So if you want to
Yeah.
work with me and grow your copywriting business, then click that link in the description and I'll see you there. Oh, like, subscribe, bell, still don't know what it does.
Oh, he's so quirky. He's not like other copywriters. I'm recording this video late in the day and the cats are a little restless, but we're going to go take a look at his website real quick. Is that okay with you, Bart? Is it okay if we go look at this guy's website? It's very important. There we go. So you lay there and get pet while I go look at this website. His URL is copymba.com. All right, so here is his sales page, which is the one that's linked from the YouTube video we just watched. And as you see here, he is a 24-year-old millionaire, and he's now making over $40,000 per month as a copywriter. Now, sales pages have two things going for them. Number one, there's no navigation, which means you can't really go to any other parts of the site. And this page has absolutely one agenda. In this case, show me how to make $40,000 a month copywriting. And I'm not going to give him my email address or my cell phone number. Ew. Okay. And it's saying this page is not associated with Facebook. I want to look up this address just for fun here. His address is to a virtual office in Miami, Florida. Let's check out his refund policy. To be eligible for the refund, you must meet the following criteria. You have to complete 100% of the course content. You must demonstrate that you've completed all the modules, lessons, exercises, and assignments included in the Copy MBA online course. After completing the entire course, you must provide evidence that you have actively applied the techniques and strategies taught in the program and have not achieved any noticeable results within 60 days of completing the course. And then to request a refund, follow these steps. So, and then you have to do all these things. And then refund evaluation. Upon receiving your refund request, our team will provide evidence and assess your eligibility for a refund. We may require additional information or clarification to process your request effectively. So basically, you have to sink 3 months of your life into whatever program that he gives you. I'm guessing his program is probably 4 weeks, and then you have to do it for 60 days after you complete the program. So I'm guessing you're spending a minimum of 3 months following these techniques, whether they work for you or not, to be able to get your money back. So let's talk pricing. So I made this Reddit page. I recently purchased Cardinal Mason's copywriting course for $699.99. So $700 for the Copy MBA course. Is he genuine? I can't tell. Help. Some of the comments. So this person writes a pretty clever comment about he created an audience speaking to the camera with his baseball cap, brown eyes, baby face, and locks of hair. He used to work at McDonald's until he discovered this thing called copywriting. Wow. And all it really took was 3 months of hard work and his business caught on like wildfire. And the copy continues on like this. But this person says, between Udemy and Amazon, you could probably find all the same knowledge at greater depth for $65. But the patron is paying for speed of implementation, and maybe a marketer is delivering just that. I wouldn't know because I didn't buy. Someone else wrote, sorry, the course is bogus. It won't teach you how to write. It teaches you how to take advantage of small businesses and gives you shitty templates. I've gained 3 clients now who fired their quote TikTok copywriters because they were actually losing money each month and bogus content was bare minimum writing with no effort or style. Go to ad school. So someone else mentions another course to purchase. I mean, there's plenty of stuff on YouTube that goes into depth with copywriting for free. I'm biased, but Copy That is pretty cool, except for the bald guy in their videos. He's a smug asshole. Okay. This is where I get the caveat that I don't think all paid courses are evil or anything. I think that it is valuable to pay to learn something specific. And times when I've done that and found it valuable are times that I saw a course and it was like, these are the things you're going to learn. And the person had a lot of free content that was available. So I could see their teaching style. They had a robust or clear refund policy where I didn't have to jump through a lot of hoops, or there was a way where I could try it and see if it was going to work for me. I find that when people lead with how much money you're going to make, or they're sort of vague on what you're going to learn, except I guess in this case, we learned we're going to learn copywriting, whatever that means. Yeah, I don't think that it is worth paying a lot of money for a vague course like that. And for small businesses who are like, I don't know what to do with my marketing. I know that I want to spend some money on it, but I'm not really sure what direction I need to go in. What I would recommend for most people who are in this situation is to talk to your local reputable marketing company. And what they'll do, you can just tell them, hey, listen, these are the problems I'm seeing in my business, or this is where I want to go with my marketing. This is what I wish I had more sales in. This is what I think people misunderstand about my business. Give them as much information as possible. Give them your budget. And if they're like me, I sit and I pretend that it's my money and it's my business. And I give you recommendations based on what I would do. And I break things out by different options so that people can look at it and say, you know what, I kind of want to try this. I think if that works, I want to do this in like 6 months and I want to hold off on these things. That's fine. I've never had anybody say yes to everything in a proposal I've made, but most marketing companies are more than happy to look at your stuff and give you some advice based on their experience with your type of business, based on the results that you want to have, and based on what they're seeing working for their other clients. So that's what I would recommend doing instead of sending this multi-millionaire 24-year-old any more money, because he clearly has enough, right? Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your time. If you have a guru, a video, something that you want me to react to, you can leave it as a comment on this video. Or if you're more shy or want to send me spam, you can use the contact form of our website, breakingeveninc.com/contact. If you want to lightly stay in touch, a great way to do that is our email newsletter, breakingeveninc.com/newsletter. You can see examples of past newsletters on that page when you go sign up to see if it's your thing. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there's about 100 videos in the Nicole Reacts series, which you can find on the Nicole Reacts playlist on the Breaking Even Communications YouTube channel, or you can go to the Breaking Even blog and click on the Nicole Reacts category and see all the videos there. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, the gurus, they'll just keep on coming, or in my case, they'll just keep sending their crap in my contact form. But the good news is you have a friend that's me in the marketing business who's not afraid to call them on all their bullshit. Take care.